He's a sharp business guy. He's a ruthless guy in many ways in the way that he's exploited the success of Facebook. But he was an idealist at the start. This was a dream to open up the world, to connect the world, and it's been fantastically successful. Some may say way too successful, and he's lost, you know, he's a bit like Dr. Frankenstein. He's lost control of his monster. But is he a guy, do you think, who has just dropped the ball here? Or, as some people suspect, actually the greed ethos of Facebook to make as much money as possible has led to ethical and moral corners being cut?
Do you know what? I think primarily he's a father of 2 small girls. So he's going to want Facebook to be safe and to protect people's data. Yeah, but you can be a businessman and a parent at the same time and still want to keep people safe
But
out
the thing
there.
is, I think the point that Piers is getting at is that the original purpose was literally social connection. But Facebook is so far from that social purpose. People who use Facebook think they're still using it for social connections. And Facebook is making money off every single person and all the information that they're putting out there.
I agree, and I think what's got to end here from a kind of regulatory point of view is the days when the tech companies basically regulated themselves got to end. There are lots of companies, television companies, telecommunications companies that hold personal data. They're regulated, they're inspected by Ofcom. We need to give the Information Commissioner the power now to go into tech companies, to look behind the curtain and see what they're doing and how they're using data.
Well, my immediate thought, actually, and I'm sure you're way ahead of this, but this is not going to just be about Facebook. Twitter's stock price tanked yesterday because there are fears that they've had the same issue. Amazon, you know, I give Amazon all my stuff every day. I get lots of targeted advertising from them. Is Amazon squeaky clean with this? Maybe they are, but you know, you've got to fear that...
Please, if nothing else, let's make this an opportunity for, you know, ordinary people out there who use Facebook and Twitter to become a bit more...
Yeah, but my point is, I don't think people actually fully comprehend... If you just use Google all day long, the amount of information Google is sucking in about you. And the trust element is, what do they then do with this information? And what worries me about Facebook is if a company as big as Facebook, right, can let this happen, my fear would be, as a user of all these other tech companies, that they've all got loopholes like this.
Yeah, absolutely, and they exploit them. And we don't have the power at the moment. We don't have the legal right, the Information Commissioner, to go in and say, I want to see how your algorithm works. I want to investigate this. And I understand why we can't do it publicly, but privately you've got to show me so I can be reassured.
You mentioned, Victoria, that primarily he's a father of 2 children. It's interesting the number of people who are now speaking out about social networks for children, including former Facebook executive Chamat Palihapitiya, who says that he has concerns about its impact on his own children. The Apple CEO, Tim Cook, says he doesn't like the idea of children using social media. Facebook's founding president, Sean Parker, said the social network knew from the outset it was creating something that exploited a vulnerability in human psychology. God only knows what it's doing to our children's brains, he said. So I wonder whether, since he's become a father, Mark Zuckerberg might be having second thoughts about what he's created.
I think there's a couple of things there. I think, you know, we mustn't forget that Facebook and other social media has brought massive benefits to people as well. You know,
I agree with that.
There are world events that wouldn't have happened.
Do you have a Facebook page?
I do, yeah.
And how have you set your settings?
So, look, I'm from a policing background, so I've always had my settings really locked down.
So what should be people... They're watching this, go, all right, but you know what we should be doing. What should people be doing right now to safeguard their data on Facebook?
Go to your security settings. There's a tool called Security Checkup. That will stop people hacking into your account. Go to Privacy Checkup in your settings. That will remind you what you're sharing and who you're sharing it with, so you don't overshare.
And that will and what will tell you how many apps are currently linked to your Facebook?
So there's a specific place in your settings. There's a section called Apps, and you can review all of that, and you can go through it, and you can say, right, I don't want Airbnb,
because all
for
those
example,
apps are going to potentially have access to all the stuff you put on Facebook. If you've ticked the box.
If you have ticked the box when you signed up for those
David
apps.
Collins, have you got a Facebook account?
Yeah, I do, yeah. I mean, I must admit, I've always been... I don't really use it for personal information. I sort of use it as a... It supports my work as a Member of Parliament, primarily, but...
Except you might not know what sort of personal information you're inadvertently putting out there.
I mean, Facebook are gathering data on every single thing you do, and that builds up a psychological profile of you. And the concerning thing is, for most people who are watching this programme, is that data that you've given in terms of interacting with your friends or doing consumer surveys is used to target you with political campaigns, you know, by people, and you've got no idea who's doing it. And that is what's frightening about this.
And, you know, we talk about the Trump election win, potentially. Was there any involvement from this? But actually, if you go back to Barack Obama's original win as president, both he and Facebook openly admitted that they had helped each other. Facebook was quite happy to be aligned with Barack Obama's campaign and to have been party to his win. You look back at that now and you think, well, all right, you can, because Trump's an easier target, you can say maybe he was, but what about Saint Barack?
And to take their money as well. People, advertisers are paying Google, Facebook fortunes.
OK, that's a good debate.
Damien Collins,
It'll keep
thank you
raging.
very much.
Thank you
Dr.
both
Victoria
very much.
Baines, thank you.